Hello, everyone. My name is Jerry, and I'm with Teachers Retirement System of Louisiana. Today, we're going to be talking about understanding ILSB. So what exactly is ILSB? We're going to define that for you. It is the initial lump sum benefit. I'll give you some requirements for that eligibility and a few examples. We will then talk about the differences between our two nest egg programs, ILSB versus DROP. Things to consider about ILSB before choosing to retire with it, applying for retirement, how TRSL pays for your benefits, and what kinds of things can you do now. So ILSB is the initial lump sum benefit. You've likely heard of DROP. You may not have heard of ILSB. It allows you to retire and take a portion of your retirement benefit in a one-time lump sum payment. So you take this lump sum with you on your way out the door as you retire, but in exchange, you don't work as if you would under DROP. You receive a reduced monthly lifetime benefit, which is your first of the month check. So it's lower. It's based on how much you choose and your age at the time of retirement. It is a permanent reduction, and it is an alternative to DROP. One does not do both programs. It's one or the other. ILSB tends to benefit those whom perhaps maybe DROP was not the best idea for. The eligibility for ILSB should look similar to DROP, but there is a big difference. There's no window of participation time. There's no 3-year window. Now it's down to 2 years. Now it's down to 1 year. You can take ILSB anytime after you're eligible. 60 and 10. 55 and 25, any age at 30 for our first groups for January 1st, 2011. Those who joined after January 1st, 2011, but before June 30th, 2015, age 60 with 5. And those that joined on or after July 1st of 2015, age 62 with 5 years. So it depends on when you joined our system, but I definitely encourage you, if you're considering ILSB, and I'll talk about some things to consider in a little bit. We're about to give you some examples. Get an estimate for ILSB to see what it would look like for you. And as I mentioned, there is no window. So you can take ILSB at 40 years of service, or at 35 years of service, or age 70 with 25 years of service, anytime after you've met the eligibility. So let's look at a couple of examples to see what it would look like. What impact does it have on a benefit? So let's say, for example, that this particular individual is 57 years old and has a beneficiary that's 58 years old. Had they simply retired, their maximum option, the monthly check on the first of every month, would have been $2,700 per month. That's the gross. But this individual at 57 years old, you'll see highlighted here at the bottom of the first column, for every $1,000 they take out, that's $7.29 for every 1,000. This person is able to take out $97,200 because that is 36 times the maximum option. And this person says, check please, I will take that amount. So because this person takes $97,200 when they retire of ILSB, instead of receiving a first of the month check at $2,700, their first of the month check is $1,992. So they're paying about $700 a month and change in order to take out that monthly lump sum in advance. So it's like you're taking an advance on your retirement on your way out the door. Now, yes, there are taxes. This is taxed 20% mandatory federal tax withholding, federal taxes. You do not have state taxes as long as you live in the state of Louisiana. Now, it depends on how much you take and your age as to how much the difference is. So let's say that you don't need $97,200. Let's say you just need half that. Maybe you want to pay off your house before you retire. Let's take a look at what half of that would look like. Now watch the numbers as they change. Look at the bottom two numbers. We're trying to close the gap between $2,700 a month at the top to $1,992 a month. In order to do that, either we need to retire a little later or our maximum lump sum is going to be changed. So instead of taking out $97,200, let's say instead we take out $48,600. Now, look, we're closing the gap. There's a difference of $350 a month in order to take out $48,600. So it really depends on what are you planning to do with that lump sum. We here at TRSL cannot give you financial advice. Our retirement education department, we are not retirement advisors nor financial advisors. But it comes down to, what are you going to do with that? Are you perhaps going to pay off your house or buy a car or pay off some debt or buy some real estate property, something that may save you monthly benefit, like may save you a monthly bill? That may benefit you to be $350 less. But are you going to just put it in a savings account for a rainy day fund? If so, it's going to have to earn enough interest to warrant a difference of $350 a month. So these are things to think about when you get an ILSB estimate at different amounts. You don't have to take out the full amount. Maybe just take out 50%, maybe take out 25%. See what your options are with your numbers. Things to think about when it comes to ILSB. Do I need a lump sum amount to use in retirement? We all want one, but do we need one? Because if you take a lump sum up front, you will reduce your monthly benefit, which is your first of the month check. It is a permanent reduction, and what determines the reduction is your age at the time of retirement and how much you take of that lump sum in which you're eligible. So let's take a look at different things comparing ILSB to drop. Like I said, you've likely heard things about drop, but ILSB is different. There are a couple of similarities. It's 36 times the maximum option you're able to take out of ILSB, wherein drop, you work for up to 36 months to participate to save that nest egg. ILSB, as I mentioned, there's no participation window. With drop, there's a 3-year participation window. ILSB, at the time you choose it, you retire. You take it with you on your way out the door. You don't work additional time like you would for drop. For ILSB, you pay that nest egg back by taking that reduced benefit for life. So your first a month check is less depending on how much you take. And for drop, you pay for that because you worked during your drop participation, so you earned it and saved it. Under ILSB, your regular monthly retirement, your first a month check is reduced. Under drop, it is not. And in both programs, participation is an irrevocable decision. So why many people do choose ILSB, perhaps drop was not for them. Perhaps they would have been at a lower benefit factor with drop at the 2%. Perhaps they're coming up on a large raise and perhaps they want to wait a few more years to get those higher years to count for retirement and would miss the drop window. Or perhaps they plan on working 35 or 40 years. And if that's the case, then drop may not be for you. So these are reasons why people may consider ILSB. When it comes to applying for TRSL retirement, you can apply for retirement as early as 6 months before your date of retirement or ILSB retirement or that drop beginning date. You need to make sure all purchases and transfers of service credit, everything is accurate before entering retirement. And please stay in touch with your employer because they will have paperwork you will need to fill out for them and they will verify your service credit and sick leave. 2 ways to apply for retirement: online through member access or by submitting the Form 11 for retirement and Form 15D for direct deposit, unless you're entering drop, 11 and 15D to our office, and those are the PDF forms. The instructions on submitting those to us are on the top of both of those forms. If you apply through member access, you will click on Apply for Retirement under the My Retirement drop-down menu. 2 weeks after you've submitted this form to us, you will receive an acknowledgement letter in the mail. So that way you know it was received from us. When you apply through Member Access, your information will automatically preload, but you can make changes if necessary. It also has skip logic, so it only asks questions that apply to what you select. At the top, if you select service retirement, you're only asked questions that involve service retirement. Same for ILSB or drop. You click whichever button you're applying for, and you will only be asked questions that apply to either service, ILSB, or drop. So how does TRSL pay your benefits? Those benefits are paid on the first of the month. Your very first check is going to be a paper check. After that, it will be on direct deposit. Now, you can cancel your retirement, but the closer you get to your retirement date, the more of an issue that's going to be for your employer. For service and ILSB, there is a 30-day waiting period. So we pay on the first of the month after a 30-day waiting period. So if you turn everything in advance, let's say you turn everything in a few months in advance, and your retirement date is May 30th, your first check date would be July 1st. There's 30 days and the first the following month. At first, you receive estimated benefits. So we can't overpay you and then go collect on it later if there was a mistake. So we pay you a little bit less than what you're due. It's called an estimated benefit. And this continues in retirement for 4 to 6 months until you receive a letter catching you up to speed, telling you that your final benefit has been calculated, which will include sick leave that converts to service credit if you have any remaining. It also will include your retroactive payment to catch you up to speed from day one, and that's a one-time retroactive payment, and from that point forward, you'll know what your amount will be every month. So in sum, know that ILSB, it allows members to retire, and you take a portion of your retirement on your way out the door in a one-time lump sum payment. It doesn't take away that first of the month check, but it does reduce it depending on your age at the time of retirement and how much you take of ILSB when you retire. Unlike drop, there is no window for ILSB. You can retire at any time once you're eligible, but you cannot have participated in drop. You can't do both. What things can you do now? Some of you watching today, you may be 6 weeks from retirement, 6 months, 6 years, 16 years away. What can you do now? Register for Member Access. I'll show you about Member Access in just a moment. You can submit copies of important documents. We will need copies of this upon your retirement, so it doesn't hurt to get that to us early. Social Security cards and birth certificates for you and your beneficiary. Copies only, not originals. Legal documents, including any divorce decrees, judgments of separation, community property settlements. Now is a very good time to update your name, your email address, your mailing address, and your beneficiary. If you're an active member, you'll need to update your beneficiary, not online, but through a Form 3 that must be mailed into our office or dropped off. We need the original of the signatures. To update your beneficiary, that's a Form 3. If you're a few years out from retirement, you can get a retirement estimate. You can use Member Access to do so, or submit a Form 10. Member Access only takes a few seconds to populate, and it is accurate. It's linked right into our system. Submitting a Form 10 has about a 4 to 6 week turnaround, so keep that in mind. If you're not able to use Member Access, Form 10 is an option for you to consider. Online access to your TRSL account at TRSL, you can go online and you can see all of the things that are offered to you under Member Access. You can create an account, or if you've forgotten your ID or password, you can reach out to our help desk department and log in. You can view your years of service, your contributions, who you have designated as a beneficiary. Remember, if you need to change that as an active member, that's a Form 3. submitted to our office, the original. You can create a benefit estimate online, update your name, your email address, your mailing address, and apply for retirement within 6 months of your retirement date. So we encourage you, if you haven't already done so, create your account today. When you log on to create a benefit estimate, these online calculators are loaded with your account information, and they are accurate. We update our numbers in the system. Your service credit is updated every July. It's for the end of June, so every July. So I would say every August is when the information is the most up to date. Log on to Member Access, and under the My Retirement drop-down menu, select Estimate Your Retirement Benefit under the My Estimate button, and you click Create Estimate. You'll also note if you're a 9, 10, 11, or 12-month employee and your retirement date. We have lots of things available for you online at trsl.org. We have forms, brochures, newsletters, pre-recorded member webinars, and so much more. And please remember that we are here for you. We are here to help. So reach out to us anytime you have questions. If you're watching this video, you have found us on YouTube. Like us on Facebook, and you can also follow us on Twitter. Be sure to email us or call us if you have any questions. Remember, we are here to help. Thank you so much, and stay in touch. Let us know what we can do to help. Bye-bye.